Good afternoon, Cubes of the Cash. Be the casual comic guy here. Joined today with Stephanie, Madam herself. So her link is in the description below. It should be. Please follow her on the IGs and wherever she is going in the YouTube community. So
Oh, thanks.
before we get going, so Stephanie, Brian released his CBCA awards announcements, and we're going to ask
Yes.
all the people that follow us on here
Ah,
lately, and for any future shows we're doing, because we are going to interview an artist together soon in May. But
I'm sorry. Hold on.
uh-oh,
Sorry. I'm trying to get to the chat and I can't. Hold on. Go ahead.
that's okay. But in the category of best couple collaboration, or what is it, group project or something,
Okay.
you can nominate channels. So if you guys don't mind, and if you feel like we're worthy of it, please nominate us in that category. We would love it. But that's our little plug for us.
Yay.
So obviously this week we have Stephanie appearing as the Scarlet Witch,
Scarlet Witch.
right?
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, you got it.
What's that?
I said you guessed it.
I know, right? You got Trev saying, "Where's Stephanie?" But before we get going, we'll say hi to the crowd. All right. So, and by the way, this is Savage Saturday Comic Review, episode 111. Our third part of our 6-part series of reviewing some art portfolios from Conan artists from the 70s and 80s. And of course, we have Las Cruces in here. Good morning, sir. Scotty Vaughn, good morning. Trev the Shipping Guru, good afternoon, sir. All right. Squirrel Madness, how you doing? Fanboy Prime stopping in. Good afternoon, sir. And who else we got here? Jean Malot. Hello, Jean.
Morning.
The Jackson Roy Kirk is here.
Yay.
Yes, Jackson. Get on the train. Everybody vote for Stephanie and I in that category. We'll humbly beg you.
Humbly beg you.
uh,
Subtly beg you.
right. So, but without further ado, so Stephanie, this is our third part. Last week you chose Nestor Redondo, and you got a week to spend with his art and reviewing it. So, the little bit of feedback I've got from you so far is you really enjoyed this portfolio overall.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right,
so
sweet.
far, I have.
All right. So we're going to get into the first one. I got him here behind me, but we'll play it on the video, and let's see. So let's add this in, and we'll advance a little bit.
You want to start
All right,
with that
it's
one?
on the first one right there, so we don't have to do any advancing. So there we go. All right, and so we'll make me big for a moment, and I'll just give this big view of it. A lot of stuff going on in this one. Very dynamic picture. Very dark, and the way the light used is pretty cool. But we're gonna see what the crowd thinks first, as we've been doing. So if you guys could, please weigh in, and I will get myself off here, and we will get Stephanie back on. And oh my goodness, why do they have drop-down format? I don't know.
You have technical difficulties, Gary.
They keep putting the one I want in a drop-down menu, and I don't want to the format. All right, so let's see. Hi, Brian. So we got the crowd saying hi to each other. We got Brian has joined us as well. So those, and Jean Malot is saying he loves the costume, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, Stephanie already knows that, and I've told you before, you have the perfect Scarlet Witch face.
Oh, thank you.
And and the fiery red just goes with the fire in her eyes, right? But anyway, so the crowd's getting going a little slow. I don't think they've all had their coffee yet this morning, Stephanie.
Well, they've had 2 shows to watch already this morning. They've had
I know. Well,
with Brian and
3 if you count Fanboy Primes.
Fanboy Primes, yeah, it was earlier than that, right?
Yeah, you got Fanboy Prime, Brian, and then Phil. They should have all their coffees in them. All right, but those of you in the crowd,
probably all passed out now.
Right? Give your opinions on this piece. I'm going to go to Stephanie real quick, and we're going to get her opinions. So
Okay.
Stephanie, for this opening piece, what do you think?
Me?
Yeah. Uh,
Do you love it when I ask, like when there's just two of us, like if you're
right.
talking to me? Sorry. I love this piece. It reminds me of of really an allegory of the rape of the Sabines, I believe it was. It's a very famous painting subject, like that was very famous in Italian painting. And it's just, guys like just, hauling girls over their shoulders, and that's very much what it reminds me of. It actually reminds me of this picture I printed off here,
Ooh.
which is actually kind of similar,
You got Julie Farnham saying it's awesome.
you know.
You still have to educate me a little bit on art, Stephanie.
Well, this one is a little it's very similar. It's all heavy on top. He's got the girl on top of him.
Right. And are
Yeah.
you okay with the proportions this week?
This girl looks okay.
um, so you have the Jackson Roykirk saying that he loves Redondo's line work better than his paintings, but this piece is good.
Oh, I haven't seen his line work, I guess. Just by itself.
Yeah,
Do you have an
well,
example of
if you're
that?
ever curious, I can send you pictures. Obviously, I have it in my Conans.
You don't have one handy though?
Uh, no, because as you know, I had a flood and I've been reorganizing stuff.
This is true. Okay. You are pardoned by your flood, by your catastrophe.
But great
What's this
piece.
one
But
called, by the way?
huh?
What's this one called? Is there a name for it?
There isn't. It was just a cover of one of the Savage Swords.
Savage Swords.
Yeah. So all these that we're showing, Stephanie, they
Yeah.
appeared on Savage Sword of Conan magazines.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah, I want to
I
say
like
this
it.
one was in the
Not my very favorite, but it is. I believe it was my second favorite of all of them.
120s. Phil has joined us.
Yay!
Phil
Go!
Thomas has joined us.
Another excellent art opinion.
Right. And
Psychedelic.
yeah, I sent Phil a picture of that Mark Texera Conan because he didn't know that he had did them. The one I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to get your opinion on that one at some point. But let's everyone's saying hi to Phil, and we'll move on to the next piece. While they're doing that, let me advance it. We'll add it back to the stream, and let's see.
I'm trying to be psychic. Guess
Right.
which
So,
one?
what's it like having like weekly homework right now, Stephanie, to look at all this stuff?
I'm not in school right now, Gary, so it's okay. And I haven't had to start my commission yet, so I've had extra time in the morning to print off pictures.
I got to tell you guys, once in a while she acts up and she's flirting with detention. So, just saying. Problem
right.
student.
So you've picked.
Yep. So yep. So this one I like a lot. I think the sword looks a little off on this one, but we're gonna embiggen me, then we'll embiggen you, and hold on.
Is that really a word, or
It's a word we made up on YouTube, Stephanie.
I'm just making sure? All right, I haven't missed
Yeah.
something. Okay.
It's I think Taylor Winder came up with it.
Oh.
I didn't even notice my camera's way off. So this a very atmospheric piece. Again, I like the way he uses light and shadows in his art. The way he highlights physicality and stuff. Again, I think this piece is absolutely gorgeous. The one thing I don't like about it is just the sword looks a little fat and short to me. But I think it's an absolutely stunning piece. I love the stress on Conan's face as he's taking on his opponents. You got that ominous giant tree in the background, and the woman looks fantastic. And I don't know, really good piece. Phil's asking if Sam Keith ever did Conan. Not that I know. Fanboy Prime says yes. I agree. The swords hurts this piece. And the Jackson Roy Kirk says, yes, that's a thick sword.
I'm not
Oh,
touching any of those.
right. But we're gonna get the expert's opinion here. And Squirrel Madness says the sword is odd, and his left arm looks oddly proportioned across the torso. What are your thoughts on this piece, Stephanie?
This piece is my favorite of them all. This piece is. I looked at this at. I think this is the one you showed me, wasn't it? When you were looking at
it was
the preview, and I think just overall at first glance, like it's beautiful. It's a masterpiece. It reminds me of like Baroque art, where they were,
right.
they had this kind of stuff going on, and it just the female's so well done. And not only that, if you'll notice, like Conan has just swiped off this guy's head, but his helmet's still there. But you can tell he used to have a head because of the red swipe.
Right, the blood.
The red swipe across there, which is just great, I think. Her legs might be a little long, but I think that's okay. Sometimes some artistic liberties need to be taken.
Are you saying that women in the Hyborian age aren't allowed to have long legs, Stephanie?
I'm just saying. The sword hasn't bothered me. You guys brought up the sword, but it really hasn't been something that has bothered me. If it was longer, it would project out more, and it would make the composition a little cooler. I'd say that. But other than that, I love this muscles. Actually, the muscles coming across with the arm here.
Yeah, I actually.
Well done. He looks tan. He looks like he's been wearing a shirt. And his arms are tan. I love that. I love that she's not, that she's been, just laying in her castle or whatever all day, not getting tan. And all these things are thought about as he's making them,
Right. That, and I just love the expression. I think that she has real proportions of a woman too. It's not like like distorted, like they overdo it on some proportions nowadays. Like he made a real proportioned person.
Right. Yeah.
That's not over. Julie Farnham says the sword is a bit off, but she still loves it. Phil Tastic says, I think the sword is short because of perspective. I can agree with that, Phil, because it might be leaned back some. So,
okay.
Squirrel Madness says short of sword. Maybe it's cold out. I think the sword was just in the pool, Squirrel. Yeah, exactly, Roy Clark. I was in the pool.
Or Conan. You guys are giving him a complex now.
Like the Catwoman cover that I wanted. All right, let's see. Wait. So, all right, nice. So a good piece there. So overall, I agree with you, Stephanie. It's just nothing but strength after strength on that piece. But I'm really curious what you think about the different lighting textures on there, because I think the lighting really is good on this piece. Like where it highlights physicality, where it highlights in the background to put contrast on stuff.
Yeah, I think having this great black like tree thing as the backdrop, it just highlights all the great shadowing and all the great muscles and everything he's put here in the foreground. If that wasn't there, if that blackness wasn't there, it'd just be a mess of people and it'd be hard to take out. But and once again, I like this ratio of like 50 to 50 black and white. I think that makes for a nice art piece. And this, because he put so much black back there, he's able to put so much white in here, and it just looks balanced in your eyes,
I agree. We have Adrian Pandasum joining us now as well.
What up?
Welcome in, Panda. All right, so we're going to advance to our next piece here, Stephanie.
Okay.
And hold on, let me hit the play. On my little cheesy videos I make before the show.
I'm gonna sneeze, I think.
What's that?
I'm gonna sneeze, I think.
That's okay. Now, if the Scarlet Witch sneezes, how many people does she hex in her vicinity?
You all are gonna disappear.
Right. Oh, let's see. All right, let's make us the same size again. Let's add this to the stream. So this is the next piece. So you can prepare, Stephanie. And this piece, I like. So this piece is based on a story that is an adaptation in the Savage Sword from some novels by Andrew Offutt, who wrote 3 Conan novels: The Mercenary, The Sword of Scalos, and Conan and the Sorcerer. This is from Conan and Sword of Scalos, and you have in the bottom left hand, you have Isperana is the name of that character, and she's being taken hostage by these desert Bedouins, and it's just a cool scene. I think it's a little bit cooler for me because I've read the novels and I've read the adaptations, so I know what they're doing. You had the Scarlet Witch over there sneezing, sneezing, sneezing. But overall, cool piece. I'm not sure what's with Conan's legs. I'm not sure how the perspective is on that. Overall, I really like this piece, but again, this piece tells me because I've read the novels, I've read the adaptations in the comics, and I know who the character in the bottom is. I know what she's capable of, and I think it's a great representation of Isperana. Usually, she's a little bit more fierce, but here she was caught weaponless for because she tried to kill Conan a few times and he took her weapons away. um, overall, I think it's a good piece. And let me see. Jackson Rickkirk says, "Well, as long as we all disappear at the same time, it'll be fine." Squirrel Madness says, "Bless you."
Thank you.
DVH has joined us. He says, "Sorry I had to jet early out of your stream earlier. From what I saw, it was great fun." And Phil says, "At first glance, it kind of reminds me of an old movie poster, like a spaghetti western."
Mm, yeah.
So we have that. And let's make you big with the art again, Stephanie. What are your reactions to this? Oh,
I hate
Otto.
it.
Let's say hi to Otto first.
Oh, hi, Otto.
Hi, Otto. Otto's a big supporter of this channel, so it's always nice to
Aw,
see Otto.
he's from the UK. He's catching
Yeah,
it live.
he's been a subscriber of my channel for a long time.
Well, that's really cool. What's it like? What's it like in the UK right now? I wonder.
Right? He's catching this live for once. Yeah, he says. I'm sorry. So your opinion, Steph?
I hate it.
No, Stephanie, it's important that you don't sugarcoat things on this show. You just
I'm
gotta
trying. Life is
go
short,
ahead.
Gary.
Go ahead. So you hate it.
I hate it. It's my least favorite of all the ones you've chosen.
I would agree with that assessment. Actually, out of this portfolio, this is the weakest.
It's got the least interesting composition. It's very central and symmetrical. I don't like the colors. I don't like his face. I don't like the action down here. Like her torso is too long, for this guy to be grabbing her there. And it looks like there was a big problem down here to how to like resolve this this triangle of the horse hoof and like this and this and how to resolve that. And
oh, right.
I just
didn't
find a
notice
bunch
that
of
part.
problems with it. So it's not my fave. I'm sorry.
And Trev says he doesn't like it either.
Okay, thanks, Trev.
All right. And DVH says it's pretty nice there today. Otto must live in a different place because he's saying it's raining.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Otto, just send the rain over to DVH's house. He can take it. And Squirrel Madness says the palette is a bit dull.
Yeah. And it does remind me of a spaghetti. It reminds me of a cover for a spaghetti western book.
Right.
An illustration for a cover. Nothing like this one, right here.
All right, so definitely a thumbs down for Stephanie.
Thumbs down.
I just loved how you approached it though. Yeah, I hate this one. Is your nose okay over there?
No, it's not.
Do you have a cold or are you getting some allergies?
I don't know. We have a lot of pollen out here though because it rains so much in Arizona, so we have a lot of wildflowers coming up, which is kind of cool, but not good for allergies.
I'm not going outside for anything today. And Philtastic is, I don't mind the colors. Hard to see the overall composition, but the sky reminds me of a fancy latte.
That's cute.
Phil is very coffee-centric today.
Is he? Phil, are you drinking coffee right now?
He talked about coffee a lot on the stream this morning.
Be honest, Phil.
Right. All right. So let's
And by the way, Phil made me this beautiful piece of art right here.
go ahead and show it off real quick. Let me make you the biggest.
I'm the biggest. This is a piece of art that he made himself and asked me what my favorite cover was. I said Aldi Grana, Scarlet Witch and Vision. And I just happened to be Scarlet Witch today too. And he made this and it's so cool. It's on board. And I'm in love with it. I think it's just a really cool piece of art.
Well, since you're showing yours off, Stephanie.
It's not a
Stephanie was
contest,
not the only
Gary.
one that was graced by Phil. And so let me swap us out here. Stephanie's such an attention hog, I swear. All right, let's so she knows I kid. All right, so this is the one Phil made me, or he put me on my favorite cover.
Okay.
The Conan the Barbarian, issue 24. So there's me, all Conanized, fighting side by side with Red Sonja. And actually, that is my favorite armor she had, where she had the full mail shirt and the leather bottoms.
Cool.
I like it way better than the bikini that they ended up putting her in. I just think that's a better battle dress. But thank you, Phil.
Cool.
And oh damn it, Stephanie! Now you got my nose going.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right, so we're gonna get to the next piece here,
Okay.
and we'll start the review on that. All right, now this one I really like. So we'll see if Stephanie agrees. But first, we're gonna take it to the crowd here. Who's big? I'm big. Okay, let's see. So I'll add it to the stream. So this is our next piece, and I will get it and show it. So, which one did I grab the wrong one? Oh my goodness. Am I missing a piece?
It's this piece right here, right?
Hold on. Let me get you in. Yeah. Somehow I have misplaced it.
Gary, make me big and I'll just show it.
Okay. Of course, wrong person big. Come on now.
There.
I know. I got to find where I put it now. Now I'm stressed out.
Don't be stressed. Oh, yeah. I think getting closer to you guys.
All right.
The action.
Well, that's not good. I had them all out taking pictures, and I don't know where it fell, but it's a great piece. Oh, I got it on my side. Nothing
Now
but professionalism here. That's okay. You do a better job showing it off than me.
I don't know.
Champ
I get a
Blaze
little-
saying hello.
Champ Blaze, hi.
All right, so those of you in the audience, what do you think of this piece? I think it is a pretty nice looking piece. We'll go back down to this, and you can see it there. Jean Malo keeps it basic. Any art with naked woman's fine with me.
Works
And
for me.
Sleepy Reader says hello, savages. And
So,
she's okay. Yeah, I'll say she's dressed. But I think this is a really good piece. What I really like in this is all the contrast, the colors. And again, you have Conan in battle. You have the woman on the very back of the horse, just holding on to Conan for dear life. And DVH is something with the horse leg. And Otto says that's a much better cover. Savage Sword 49 or 50 ish. Great costume. TM Nerdy's joined us. How you doing,
Hey.
Travis? Nice to see you, sir. But overall, I think this was one of the stronger pieces in this. I especially love the brickwork. Looks great. The wood actually looks like wood on the gate, and just everything about this piece I think is really beautiful. But let's make you big, Stephanie, and you can discuss what you. Phil says before Stephanie speaks here. We'll say Phil says, I think this is my favorite today. The warmth of the interior and cast in contrast well. The coldness of the exterior helps eyes follow the figures well. And Stephanie, your opinion?
I love it. Yep. It's one of my faves. I really love how like it's very Renaissance-y, right? It's very mural-esque. It has a great action and feel to it. And I only have really like maybe two complaints. This guy's arm is maybe a little short with this guy's weird head, bald head. I don't know what's going on there. This guy right here. And this girl
Don't
is
make fun
well
of him.
done
He
and
got dropped
everything.
as a baby.
Okay.
just go ahead. I'm sorry. The girl what?
The girl on the horse is really well done, except her face. I find that the shadow makes her look like she has a mustache or something, and it's irritating me. I wish her face was just a little cleaned up.
But look at her hair, Stephanie.
Look at her hair. You're right, Gary.
The hair is amazing on this piece. Look at it. The hair is great.
Yeah. I like Conan's hair in this piece, or maybe
Yeah,
it's that's
his
the
hair looks
horse
good
hair.
too.
Yeah.
So
The
the one
horse is
thing,
well done,
the one
too.
thing you didn't pick out that I picked out that I didn't like about the piece. So we'll get your perspective on this. So
Okay.
when you're looking at it, look to the right, 3/4 of the way up. It looks like he's holding that sword wrong.
Oh, I was looking at the crotch when you said that area. You see the blatant crotch shot in this painting that I totally missed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, the guy behind the crotch guy that holding the sword, the angle looks off on the sword.
Yeah.
Like if he swings down, he's gonna hit someone with the side of it or the back of it.
Yeah. He looks like it looks like if he's gonna go down and hit that guy who's got the crotch there, it's maybe he would decapitate him. I don't know.
Well, the guy
Let
with
me
the
see if I
exposed
can get
crotch
the
is gonna have a
crotch.
bad day because that horse is gonna destroy whatever
mean-
he's got working down there.
I mean, let me just get up here. Come on. What are we looking at here, folks? What kind of angles are we doing here?
Right. So let's see what they're saying. Trev says, "Look at her thigh."
Her thigh. I
What's
know.
wrong with her thigh? It looks good. I mean, she wouldn't have any extra musculature. She wasn't, she looks like she was pampered wherever he's, she was taken. He's pampered her. Fanboy says typical lady. Sleepy Reader says Damien says maybe Conan like muscles on his women.
Mustaches on his.
Oh, mustache. I'm sorry, mustaches. Yep. Fanboy says kidding.
He probably does, Sleepy Reader. You're right.
And Jean Malo likes your hair.
Oh, thank you.
And let's see. The Jackson Roy Kirk says, now I can't unsee that crotch shot. I didn't really notice it either until Stephanie pointed it out.
I just noticed it, and now I can't unsee it either.
Well, and this is Brian LCS's fault because didn't he want more loincloth last week? Shop, how you doing, sir? There you go, Brian. All the loincloth you could want, buddy. And Trev says he didn't see it either until you pointed it out, madam.
Wow.
So we got madam the blame for us all noticing the crotch shot.
I'll always notice inappropriate stuff.
Yep, Shop.
Yes.
All right, so
Shop
let's see.
is the artist in the house.
Oh, we got quite a few of them.
And Fantastic's here. I know.
And let's get to the next one. Now this is just to me a classic scene, right? You have, let's make us equal again, and we'll add it to the stream. This reminds me of a movie poster, like because you have the hero in the foreground, you have the classic stance on a defeated foe, and kind of the celebration.
Right.
So this is this is Conan claiming the crown. You got the damsel to the right. I like the way Nestor Redondo did his name on this one with the little banner swipe that he did.
Yeah.
And you got everyone saluting Conan as he becomes king of Illusia. But I think I love the dark clouds in the back and the dark sky. I like the blood on the sword. Could it be a little over the top with Conan's foot on his body? Possibly. But this, when I look at this one, you know what it reminds me of is classic, like Jusco or Vallejo, or even what's that National Lampoon's Vacation poster with Clark Griswold.
What?
But let's see what they're saying. Yes, Phil says very Clash of the Titans. I'm sorry, that's
Hmm.
Jackson Kirk, CBC Sea Awards. Very Clash of the Titans. And OG version, not the recent ones. I like the buildings. Dry your eye to. Dr. Von Hoots. We'll see you later, buddy. Um, he's just saying goodbye to Von Hoots.
Ah.
And Otto says this is the best he thinks so far. It's Otto's favorite. So, but let's make you big with it, Stephanie. What are your thoughts on this one?
Let me crush Otto's dreams.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Otto, I just hate to point this out, but the thing that I can't unsee in this thing is that this guy's face, who so sadly has perished, right? Or is perishing, right there. His face is so big compared to Conan's face. It's so distracting that he's so much bigger as a person, and that Conan is so much smaller. And I find that distracting.
I never noticed his head size before.
Well, look at it. I don't even know that crown would fit on his head. You know,
Squirrel
my
Mendez says
favorite
his favorite so far.
Wayne's Sons. Yeah.
So Stephanie is being very controversial right now, going against the grain of the crowd. So besides that guy that Conan's got his head on, Sleepy Reader says you have a good point.
Okay.
See, there's always one person to kiss your butt in the crowd, Stephanie. No, just kidding. Just picking, Damien. We're mostly picking on Stephanie. But what do you think about the rest of it, Stephanie? Because
I really love the girl. I think the girl looks beautiful. She's probably my favorite thing about the whole thing. She looks so daintily drawn. She looks like she can just, she could just mist away. She's so ethereal,
Right. But when you look at her too, I think that one of the strong points about her is and just from an art view, like her hips look great. Like they look like real hips.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bone, you can see like the bone structure and the muscles. They look real. They don't look like misproportioned, exaggerated hips.
Right, and she's got a great face. He's did a great job on her, for sure.
Jackson Roykirk says this is the better one. Damien says it's good composition, but I'm not into the pale colors. And Otto says I never noticed. Maybe he was a huge king. He was a big, large king, but
was he? Was he supposed to be like a Goliath?
No, he wasn't supposed to be a Goliath. I was to say I will agree with your point. Like he was a big guy, but
right.
he was big because he was a drunkard and a lout, and he could just spoil himself.
Oh.
Naman's here. Good afternoon, Naman.
Sup, Naman?
The Jackson Roykirk says almost a Norm or Jusco composition. I agree. But so all right. So overall, that one part. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think the clouds in the back. I think that it really benefited this. Like this particular would have benefited if the clouds in the back were really dark, coming up. So he would stand out a little more. He kind of fades in there with the clouds in the background and those muted colors, and that would have really helped it pop. I think if there was some darkness, through here.
Right, and you don't like the crowd around him. I think they all look kind of good.
Yeah, they look good. But they're just there,
Yeah.
All
right. So
they look good.
So probably your second least favorite piece of the portfolio.
I gotta say, yeah, and we're getting down there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got one more piece left.
Yay!
So we're gonna get to it. And again, while I'm getting this piece ready, I will mention it again. Brian announced the CBCA Award nominee categories. And one of those categories was best couple, collaboration, or category, right? So, if you could find it in your hearts to go vote for Stephanie and I for this show or anything that we co-host together, that would be great. We would love the nomination for best duo or collaboration. Collaboration. I can't speak now. I'm like talking like a cartoon. Collaboration. I'm like collaboration.
Well, you're all on your own now.
Right?
for yourself. I say, don't vote for us at all because I'm sure there's a lot of other shows out there that are probably more entertaining.
No, vote for us.
I was
Norris
always
is here. How you doing, sir?
Hey,
Do
I was
it.
always
Thank you.
terrible at like going to like collect money for like selling candy at school to like your neighbors. Because after I'd like go sell the candy, I would never go back and collect the money because I'd feel too bad about it. You know, I feel too bad asking them for money that they owed me.
You see, like when our school did that, I never make my kid go sell anything. I don't just stuff's too expensive now. I'm not gonna go ask someone to spend like $40 on a tin of popcorn. No.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
Hold on. We got some comments coming in before we get to this last piece. What's this?
Okay.
Jean Malo, just remind me when the awards voting go online, and you two have my vote. Oh, thank you, Jean. And the Jackson Roykirk says, I nominate Stephanie and Gary Conan Portfolio Review. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You'll have to do it on the official website, Jackson. We would appreciate it. And Sleepy Reader is telling Naman good morning. And TM Nerdy is just sleeping the day away. Don't worry, I just wake up an hour as well. So Travis is really busy today. Naman, we're going to be doing different collabs. So Stephanie and I are doing the 6-parter, but we are going to do other shows together. So before we get to the last piece, let's talk about it because I've had a few people in the community reach out about your ideas, Stephanie.
Yeah.
But you and I have yet to receive any pictures.
I know.
We had like Simple Simon and stuff. So
Right.
Stephanie's idea, and it's a good one. And before we get to the last piece, I'm going to make her big and she can present it again. But we need everyone's participation who wants us, if you want to see us do this show together. So Stephanie, go ahead and tell them what your idea is with the action figures, dolls, or statues.
Okay. All right. I was thinking, I'm a sculptor, but as what I do right now, and I really enjoy 3D art. And with 3D art, I really enjoy your guys' dolls or statues, and I think it would be really fun for you guys to bust out your statues, dust them off because they've probably been dusty, and take a nice picture of them, send them to me and Gary, and we'll put them on the show, and we'll have a statue review of everyone's statues, or critique them, say how cool they are or what we think about them, and then we'll pick like the one we think is the coolest.
Now, the Jackson Roykirk says, stop calling them dolls and you'll get his vote.
I do it just to irritate you guys.
Oh, yes, but you have to send us, so anything you want us to review, send us multiple angles and shots of it. Send it to both at Madam Blaster on IG and at Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy. Send them to both of us. And so we can look at them, discuss them, and that way I have time to make a video of each one of them because I have to make a video to share it on the show.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Stuff I don't have to think about.
Right. But all right, so let's get back to this. We back to us. There we go. And let's get to our last piece here, Stephanie.
Okay.
Oh, I'm already on it. Okay. So let's add it to the stream. Now, this is going to be a cool one for me because I'm a sucker for a monster. All right, this is a cool looking monster. I kind of can't really tell what it is, but it's coming out of a mist. You got treasure in the background. The classic pose of the damsel in distress at Conan's feet. And you got a really long sword on this one. And I think Stephanie's going to have mixed feelings about this. I'm just guessing. But Trev said, damn phone calls. And but I think this is a really great piece. I love the dungeon setting or the treasure room setting in it. And Conan, again, having to fight against the odds. But Stephanie, whoop, there we go. What do you think of this piece?
I hate this piece too. Sorry.
It's okay. It's your opinion.
I don't like the monster. I think he's kind of
Is he too furry?
it's just too much. this piece is it's too central. Like the monster's right on top of him. The composition's not that good to begin with. The girl looks great down there, but the monster's big claws coming out.
Well, Phil's kissing up to you and saying that he thinks the monster looks goofy too. Just
Yeah.
some blatant butt kiss in there. I don't even think he thinks that.
Yes, he does. He thinks that because he's super smart and he's a great artist. He knows what he's talking about. But yeah, it does look goofy, and it looks like there wasn't much creativity going into that.
Oh, and Jackson saying he's guessing the crotch took points off as well. That's a big loincloth. Brian should be really happy right now.
I know, that's a huge loincloth.
Brian might be reaching for his Coco Radiance right now. You don't know. John says that he looks like the monster's made out of the steam or smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like conjured.
But the steam or smoke is like it's too much of it behind
you know
him.
It, Damien.
Too much of it.
Damien's picking on me, saying he wishes people would kiss up to him instead. Oh, goodness. Now, people are kissing up to the right person. This is the person with the knowledge that's I have highlighted right here. She knows. I don't. I just like to cause problems.
Just like to I am so bad.
Novice says, so this is where Gary is in the hot seat. Phil says, does Conan have several tapered loincloths, or they all just come that way? Monster has no nose. Well, it's a monster. It doesn't have to have a nose.
It just has a void. It has a void for a nose. You're right, Phil.
But
you would imagine with his loincloth, wardrobe, you imagine he'd have a shirt to throw on.
Yeah, but you never know the circumstances of how he got in that position.
Yeah, you're right. The shirt probably got ripped off early.
Oh, no. We're having technical difficulties. Stephanie has disappeared. But we are going to wait a moment and hopefully she'll get back on. But overall, let me see. I'll make myself big for a moment, even though that's not the preference here. Let's see. And hopefully Stephanie will get back in. I know, right? But anyway, this piece. You know what, Phil? Upon looking at it, I got to agree with the nose. The nose is a little off. So you won me over on that point, Phil. But I do like Conan with the long sword sitting there. And we have lost Stephanie. And D. Jackson Kirk says too much crotch talk. And but while Stephanie is signing back in or getting back on, Trev, you guys have won me over. The monster isn't good. I did like it at first, and I think I'm getting some messages from Stephanie. Oh, she said, her plug came out. All right. That's all right. She will be back soon. And did the monster get her? And Stephanie is coming back, guys. And Conan's got a lot going on now, man. He's got monsters in the back, monsters in the front, and there she is. So Stephanie was asking, and Trev was asking if the monster got you for talking so much smack about it.
I think he did. Something. The plug on the back of the computer fell out, and it was the monster's fault.
Right. All right. So as we do with each of these, you got this portfolio. Now the first 2 weeks in a row, you gave the portfolios a 4 out of 5. What would you rate this portfolio by Nestor Redondo?
Okay, can you remind everybody of what I've given everybody else?
Sure. Bart Sears, you gave a 4 out of 5.
Right.
And Doug Beekman, you gave a 4 out of 5. Now, this one is the one that you had two that you just really didn't. Everyone else, you had like one you didn't like. This one you had. I think you said you really loved this one and couldn't wait to talk about it. But this one you had the most. I didn't care for it's on it.
It's so funny, Gary. You know, I really liked everything at first glance, and then you just give me a minute and I'll find something wrong with it. You know,
Right. The more time you spend with it.
so I'm terrible that way. So I guess that's what makes me an art critic or whatever. It makes me, you know, interested in really just dissecting art and, you know, kind of getting in the head of the artists and what they're thinking and stuff. But anyway, I would give him probably, I'm going to say a 4.3.
Oh, so I find that interesting, and do you know why? It's because you had the most dislikes on this one,
Mm-hmm.
but the ones that were strong were your strongest of the portfolios so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. That's good to know. So a good 4.3. So the highest rating yet.
I mean,
So we are saving obviously Earl Norm for last. So you're gonna have two to pick from for next week, Stephanie,
okay.
and you're gonna have Michael Golden. So we'll show you one of those. Jackson Roykirk. Oh, Nauman says, I bet Madam will beat up the monster. Jackson Roykirk says, I was at 3.5 before, but now I'm at 4.0.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me swap us. I'll make myself big so I can show you. And so this is the Michael Golden.
Right.
And we got this. Now, this piece I don't mind, but that's the Michael Golden portfolio.
Okay.
And then this will be a fan favorite. This is Joe Jusko. You got Rawl, the Devourer of Souls on that back cover.
Yeah, I got to go with the first one.
Michael Golden.
Yeah.
All right, so Michael Golden next week, and then we're going to end the series strong with Jusko and Norum as the last two. So let me get us back here. All right, so you love a 4.3, which I was expecting a lower rating with what you like, but I'm glad that the ones that were strong were really that strong for you.
They were like, this reminds me of a Renaissance painting. Like it's very good, you know.
Oh, and Philip's saying Jusko's going to be at Garden State Comic Fest.
Fun.
And Jusko's done just a whole bunch of work. And just for, let's see, something a little different. Let's see if we have it. I was going to try to show it to you guys real quick, but looks like I can't find it. But Jusko also did a really good Dazzler cover. But I'll send you a picture of that, Stephanie, just for fun.
Okay.
And I agree with Otto. Michael Golden did some of the worst Savage Sword covers. And Michael Golden's a good artist, but he did not fit Conan at all. Whenever he did a cover, I was like, ooh. I'm like, oh, I hope the art's better on the inside for whoever the artist is.
Wow.
But it was his Conan just was always off. But it'll be interesting to see what your thoughts are, because we all may not like it, and you may think it's really great. So that's part of the fun of this series. And again, guys, we're going to remind you that get those toy submissions in, the action figures and the statues.
Yeah.
And we're going to hook up something to Stephanie's chair that every time she says dolls, she gets a little shock. So,
mean, Gary. This is a side of Gary that does not come out often. Now we know how psychotic.
Casually evil, Stephanie. But no, but that was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that you thought the pieces you liked in this were that strong, Stephanie. It would raise your grade up to a 4.3.
Yeah,
once you started disliking a few, I got like, ooh, this is going to be our lowest one yet. I do still think that next week's Michael Golden will be your lowest rated one, but again, I could be completely off.
Well,
But guys, let's
from the
go
one
ahead.
you from the one you showed me, I think it was. I'm really. I think I. There's a lot of promise there because it looks really great
Oh,
to me.
okay. That's kind of curious because I think his portions on stuff on Conan are way off. It has a weird
Oh,
glossy look that I don't like, but we'll get to it. It has a
okay.
digital kind of feel to it, which I don't care for.
Oh, okay.
But we'll get to it. And so Convex Mike, for those of you who don't know, this is actually my very best friend. Mike,
Oh,
thanks for
really?
coming on and checking me out, buddy. So he lives here in Rochester, so my best friend right there.
What up?
Yeah. So and Jackson agrees with the shock therapy, madam.
Hot therapy.
But yeah, Stephanie will be in the electric seat next week. And Phil says, Gary, can you post artwork on your IG ahead of time so we can see? Oh,
Yes, I was thinking that too, and that's why I put on the Instagram header that it was Nestor Redondo because I think if people want to look him up, they might have an opinion. They might want to grab some of his stuff. You
I
know,
agree with loaded look, Jackson. All right. So I will post these I will post the next portfolio on IG. So people have time to spend with it and they can give more informed opinions. Because you might be able to get a better look at it too than us showing it on the channel like this. Because if you're looking at it on your phone, it's going to be hard to see all the details of the art.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But all right, so we got 3 weeks down, 3 weeks to go. And Stephanie, do you have an idea of who you're going to cosplay as next week?
Who says I'm going to cosplay?
That what you don't need to.
I just kidding. I'm going to cosplay. I'm definitely thinking I'm going to be Poison Ivy. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to Poison Ivy. Have we seen you in Poison Ivy? I'm trying to remember.
I did Poison Ivy like a long time ago, but it'll be like
so you need to break it out again.
And I'm thinking like it's going to be more of like a Jenny Frisian Poison Ivy,
Oh,
as opposed to like an old school Poison Ivy, like a Uma Thurman Poison Ivy.
Jackson Roykirk. She always dresses like this, doesn't she? Yep, this is her name. She picks up the kids like this. That way, the teachers know if they got anything bad to say about her kids, to keep it to themselves so they don't get hexed.
That's right.
Oh, oddly enough, her kids get all A's. Who knows?
Yeah.
Fear of the witch is strong over there. No, but another fun time, Stephanie. Thank you as always for coming on and making this a fun week. I hope you're enjoying the portfolios and spending time with the art and giving your opinion. Naman says lucky kids. And Trev agrees with Frisian.
Frisian, that's right. Woo!
And Jackson Ricker wants to know why he's not invited to the PTA.
Well, it's funny because it's like I do this, like on the regular now for a while, and it's like, oh, Mom, I just walk around the house like, oh yeah, Mom's Scarlet Witch today this morning. It's like no big deal, whatever.
Right. So for those, like obviously having to appear in character takes a little bit of time and work, right? How much time do you think you spend getting ready for a show, like getting your cosplay together?
Oh, and actually not that long. Want to know why?
Why?
Because I got to wear a wig.
Oh.
So therefore, I don't have to do my hair.
There you go. You got it here first, guys. She has not washed her hair in weeks.
Not in weeks.
No, just
It's actually purple.
Right? Oh. But your regular hair is just fine, though. You could use it for Scarlet Witch. Your hair's dark enough.
No, I put highlights in it recently, so I don't think it would work for Scarlet Witch. So.
But anyway, want to thank the crowd. Stephanie and I, of course, had a great time. It's always a fun show. And Stephanie, I look forward to next week when we're going to look at Michael Golden. And if you like it, you're probably going to be in opposition to most of the crowd next week, I bet.
Okay, well, that'll be fun.
Right? But who knows? Maybe you'll love it. Maybe you won't. And Jean Malot thought that was your natural hair.
Oh, thanks. I
Trev
wish
says,
it
great
was.
show. But hey, guys, we appreciate you all for showing up. The show was fun, but I think Madam would agree. It's nothing without you guys reacting to the art and to us
Yes.
reacting to you guys. The crowd is what makes the show fun. So we appreciate you all coming out and joining, spending an hour with us, basically. You
Yeah.
know, and it's a fun Saturday morning for us. We hope it's a fun Saturday morning for you. And thank you all very much. And until next time, as I like to end these things, keep it casual.